Athenagoras and his connection to Philo. In one of my last videos, where I discussed the connection between Theophilus of Antioch and Philo of Alexandria, who was from the 1st century, I made a connection with many things that they said. As I was watching that video, I realized that Dr. William Lane Craig mentioned 4 people as being followers of Philo in creating the Logos Christology. He mentioned Justin Martyr, he mentioned Tatian, and Theophilus, which I connected with Philo, and Athenagoras. And so I thought it would be interesting to look into these men individually and see how much of Philo they took. And I want to start with Athenagoras, because Athenagoras said something very, very powerful. But starting with Philo, let me read this. Philo on page 5. It is manifest also that the archetypal seal, which is called that world which is perceptible only to the intellect, must itself be the archetype, model, the idea of ideas, the reason of God. Page 6. And the invisible divine reason, perceptible only by intellect, he calls the image of God. And I can keep going on and on. But the early church fathers, they took up Philo's teachings on the reason of God, and they, from there, made up their own Logos Christology, and the Trinity was defended by using Philo's ideas. Philo not only gave us the Logos Christology, he also gave us all the concepts of the Trinity. That there's 3, but at the same time there's 1, that they're equal, 3 natures, and on and on and on. But I want you to listen to this. This is Athenagoras, and it's kind of interesting to read this. Connection to Philo's Logos, reason, and 3 persons. How did Athenagoras connect with Philo? If Philo spoke about the reason of God as coming from God, how did Athenagoras connect with Philo? You find it on page 133 of the writings of the Ante-Nicene Fathers. And it says it real clear. The understanding and the reason of the Father is the Son of God. This is how Athenagoras connected with Philo. Philo's reason, the teaching on the reason of God, and then he changes it and says, well, it's the Son of God. Wow. The understanding and reason of the Father is the Son of God. It also says on page 133, but the Son of God is the Logos of the Father in idea and in operation. And then he says that the understanding and reason of the Father is the Son of God. And then it says he came forth to be the idea and energizing power of all material things. Philo taught on God and his 2 powers. And it keeps going and going and going. It says, who then would not be astonished to hear men who speak of God the Father and of God the Son and of the Holy Spirit? Here Athenagoras is teaching on the Trinity, which he developed from Philo's teachings. Some theologians today will say, and if you go online and you put who was the first to coin the word Trinity, the first to teach on the Trinity, they'll tell you it was Tertullian. But they're lying, or they're super ignorant. Because as far back as the early church fathers, the Greek apologists, they were already talking about the Trinity, about God the Father, God the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Athenagoras is a testimony to that. So I leave you with this. Many PhDs and doctors of divinity and theology, and they claim that they are very intelligent when they talk about the Trinity. But when you ask them about these writings, they act like they don't exist. But anyone, if you're viewing this, you can buy the writings of the Ante-Nicene Fathers and start looking through the writings of Tatian, the writings of Athenagoras, like I was saying, Theophilus, and the writings of Justin Martyr, which calls the Son the second God. And there's a lot of Trinitarians that are ignorant about this information. I can't help that because I believe in research. Please study for yourselves so you can find out if what you believe is really Bible or it is philosophy and allegorical interpretation that came from Philo of Alexandria.